G'day YouTube, Warbles on a lot here. Welcome to Air Screw Smoke Trail Studies with better backlighting and new improved stronger smoke. At the moment 97.7 on the bottom, $82.5. Oh, that's wrong. 100.8. $106. That might be a bit more believable. $76. Perhaps. The fire has been going quite hot for quite a while. This is about the third or the fourth time I've shot this video. I'm sitting a metre away and I can feel it in my face. Right, as a comparison, here we go below the level of the fan. Once more, through the middle of it. What's happening is the fan is sucking air that's coming up. I'm using the laser pointer just to show you where it's coming from, but it's above 260 degrees and it's the air being heated in the space there between the pot belly and the horseshoe shaped heat exchanger that runs the thermosiphon driven air pump that sucks cold air in through that duct there from the floor underneath the bunks in the bunk room, and there has to go through the horseshoe, around the micro corrugated grooves and back out up there. Bunk room air temperature 100.3 degrees as supplied from the thermosiphon driven pump. It'll be coming out of there at about 30 degrees Celsius, and the bunk room in there will be about 15 degrees Celsius instead of maybe, I don't know, 5 degrees if the outside's that cold. Okay, here's the setup. The camera is on a tripod. Tripod is not quite underneath and in line of the two torches, but the two torches they go up quite nicely to show the aircraft hanging on a thread. Each one on a separate thread, but all from the same coat hanger, and the coat hanger itself, it's hanging from a thread as well. Okay. So with about that locked in, first we'll give it in full light. We'll try that again, as lit more or less by just the torches. That sort of gives more of the effect I was hoping to demonstrate. As I said, better backlit with stronger smoke. 2 metres from the fan to that torch, the smoke is blowing down the beam thereof. Smooth. And of course it's about time to stoke the fire because it's burnt through the load of fuel that I put in there when I started making this shot. But we'll give it one more toke. Watch a backlit, double backlit puff of pipe smoke wafting across the hut on Peltier powered electric fan thrust with an actual homegrown propeller made from native timber. Quarter cut chainsaw milled from windfall salvage, which dropped within the boundary of the endangered species sanctuary that I've paid rates on for nearly 28 years. So I actually drew the propeller from Windfall Salvage. Running on Peltier powered electricity, produced from the heat which would otherwise be just generating a simple hotspot up there at ceiling height. So, there you go. And now we know this thing can blow air at least 2 metres across the room, as I'm fairly sure could both the first and second attempts. However, I think the first one blew about 4 times as much air at 3 or 4 times the speed and blew it, 4 times further across the room than did the Chinesium one. And the second attempt, because it had a high lift, low drag, thick nosed air foil or aerofoil, it generated a bit more turbulence, a bit more drag, and its downstream prop wash wasn't quite as fast and it was a bit more turbulent. So yeah, it was probably only about 3.5 times more efficient than this thing was. My personal impression is that this sharp-edged, flat-bottomed, symmetrical, tangential, cylindrical, traditional Aboriginal boomerang low drag aerofoil section, it's better than the first propeller. Quite a bit better. This might be shifting nearly 5 times more air because it's turning faster for the same temperature gradient, with a 30 degrees Celsius gradient across the Peltier device. This was running at 300 RPM. 30 degrees gradient. The first attempt in red cedar and black oak was about 4 times more efficient, and it turned faster too because it sucked more air past the cooling fins. It would run at about 330 RPM at 30 degrees Celsius gradient. The second effort, more drag because of its high lift, thick, blunt aerofoil. Generated a lot of turbulence, wasted energy. Maybe 315, 320 RPM at 30 degrees Celsius gradient. I think I observed this thing doing something like 360 RPM. And all 3 of my efforts have got the same pitch, 6 inches pitch. So yeah, this turns faster because it's got a lower drag, and because it turns faster it pumps more air. So if this is 5 times more efficient than this, then this would have to be about maybe 18% efficient, and that would be about 90% perhaps, making that 72%, and that something like 63%. Perhaps. The alligator alleges. So, the boomerang wins. Apparentarily. Warbles on a lot to YouTube. Ciao.